Welcome to Camp Handsome, a beautiful place for the convocation of comely men. Now, here's your host, the Grammar Club.
Welcome to Camp Handsome.
Aha!
I'm Shell Riley. I'm here with Glenn Case and Ty Gwenley.
Hi
Just
there.
an intimate little show tonight. Hello,
Yeah.
fellas.
Hi there.
I want to start by pitching a song concept.
Okay.
Dig this. 50 rappers, one from each state. Each does 4 bars about their state. It's educational.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not far off from something that the guy who does Jonathan Mann, the Song a Day guy, tried doing that, where it was a protest song about all of the different people from the Senate, and to so it was 2 per state, and I don't think that it ever got filled. But we might have better luck if it's just one rapper from each state, and they don't have to rap about a specific subject.
I bet, if not between the 3 of us right here and now, between the 6 of us over the course of a few days, we can probably come up with candidates to at least approach about this.
Yeah.
But
Well, see, I thought you were going to say Canada.
Episode.
I thought you were going to say Canada
Well,
too, but then
what we could
that's
do is at the very end have Jesse Dangerously start, and then we'll just cut the music. So we'll start 51 rappers. That'll be the name of the song. 51 rapper salute. 51 rapper salute. Okay. And we have started with our first rapper, who is the exception to the rule.
Well, you've got to have the order of the rhymes being the order that the states were included into the United States.
Okay, that is exactly what we will do.
Do we
And
know
now-
any
now-
Hawaiian
now-
rappers?
I was going to say, is
No.
it
No.
a matter of going with where they currently live or where they're from?
I think we can use either as long as they are willing to rap about their state.
There you go. Okay, because I'm originally from California, but I live in Washington now, and we've got Washington double covered
All right.
just in this group.
So let's. I'm taking notes. You'll be number 2, the definitive author.
That's the guy. He'll
That guy is
he'll
from
represent
both
California.
California and Washington. So
Yeah.
I mean, you can only do one, but you can do one or the other. So we
Sure,
will leave
and
that
I'm-
open.
And I'm pretty sure Beefy's going to be our Washingtonian, clearly.
Beefy should probably be our Washingtonian.
And I lived in Oregon for a while, so if we have a California one, I could even actually rap about Oregon.
I
lived there
was
for a while.
going to suggest that because
And it's right in between the two.
it's easy to find a rapper from California, harder from Oregon. Not impossible, but I don't know one off the top of my head. I know at least half a dozen off the top of my head from California, and I probably know 20 more if I think about it for a few hours.
So this is a fairly fresh idea.
I hope it is.
Both in the idea of it being fresh, like cool, but fresh as in new is more what I was thinking.
Is it?
You just came up with this.
I mean, you told me someone else came up with it, but using twice as many before.
No. It was actually a call to action, I believe, over one of the things that was happening with our current administration. I don't even remember the specific reason, but I think it was just to keep our current president in line. So it was more of a political thing anyway.
Okay.
And it was
This will be-
and they were asking for full songs from each person, so it's not the same.
Right. Yeah. This will be quite different. This will be quite different. I'm thinking this will be kind of having a They Might Be Giants kind of feel.
Nice.
I'm hoping
Works for me.
I mean, to a degree. Obviously, it's going to be rap, so not just They Might Be Giants. But I was just kind of imagining like a They Might Be Giants song, and I thought, oh, what if we just did this with 50 rappers?
See, there you go. That's perfect.
I know. That's the best.
I guess one thing we do have is some sad news with Spokon. It has been scaled back. It will not be the entire Grammar Club now. It will just be Beefy and myself, Glenn Case. Based on budgetary constraints, it's not going to work out, sadly, for the whole group. I hate to say it, but not going down now.
Yep.
We will miss you guys.
Yeah. Hopefully,
Alas,
we'll play another
we
show
hardly
sometime.
knew ye.
It's
Still,
okay.
shout out to Spokon regardless, because that whole thing is partially why we're making music together again.
Absolutely. It is the catalyst for this whole thing. So, Dan, thanks a lot. We owe you one, buddy. Beefy and Glenn will definitely put on a great show for you and everybody at Spokon. And you guys are going to be playing some Grammar Club stuff, right?
I believe we will probably do that.
It goes without saying you have our blessing.
Well, thank you. Definitely appreciate that. My thought is that I am going to get together with my band, because there will be a full band with that, and we'll probably learn a few that we could. Beefy will probably have a full set. I'll probably have a full set, and then we'll invite Beefy up to do some Grammar Club stuff. That's my thought, at least.
That's going to be a good show. You have Beefy, who is our rapper, and
yes,
if he weren't there, we couldn't do much of the Grammar Club stuff.
It would be tricky. That would be for sure.
Yeah.
I've done Grammar Club covers before, but it's not the same.
Me too. It's not the same. We need Beefy. He's at the heart of this.
To say the least.
Yeah. So that begs an interesting question, actually, just hypothetically. Maybe this is a bit of morbid curiosity, but I remember when I was in a little like entertainment law class one time I took,
oh sure,
there was a whole lot on ownership of a band's name and who can call themselves the band after a falling out or a death or any other kind of a breakup. So this is an interesting question. Hypothetically, if one of us were to vanish, like how many would have to fall before we'd stop saying it's the Grammar Club?
Boy, that's a tricky thing, isn't it?
Who can call? I mean, I'll give you my personal feelings.
I
off the bat.
I would love your personal feelings on this.
I would say I don't care, and you are welcome to play as the Grammar Club because I trust you. I know, and if for some reason it doesn't feel like the Grammar Club or whatever, it's still not something I would make a big deal out of.
Sure. I would agree with that sentiment. I mean, obviously there was a point when I wasn't in the group anyway.
Yeah.
But I'd say really for it to feel right for the Grammar Club, there should be a Shale Riley and there should be a Beefy.
That would be nice, but I mean, I think I understand that and I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
But as a matter of practicality, I mean, it's nice to have a show and book it as a Grammar Club show so people can go see the Grammar Club. But then again, maybe they would go and feel like it was false advertising if they're real like hardcore fans. I don't know.
Exactly. With this, I would not want to call this the Grammar Club for what we're doing at Spokon because you're not part of it.
I was about to ask. So
yeah, to me, this is definitely going to be Glenn. Oh, hell, hey.
Who's here?
Oh, hi.
Hey.
Oh, hi.
It's Elshawn. Hello.
What's up,
yeah,
children?
We're talking a little bit about Spokon at the moment here and the unfortunate change of events on it, but where we will still have Beefy and myself representing, and how I'm not going to say that it's the Grammar Club because I feel like we would at least need Shale Riley.
We would need Shale.
That to be the case.
I thought it would be nice if like there were any of us from out of town that he would be able to fly in. Like if he could get Shale, then you could still call it the Grammar Club, and it would make sense. But
sure.
Without Shale and Beefy's vocals, it feel like it's not the thing.
It's not the Grammar Club. Yeah,
right.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Well, thank you. Very flattering. We were
This was originally your guys' baby. I mean, back when it was Triforce, and
that's a different thing. That's like a different.
That was definitely
group.
different.
That is the group where I met. That's the thing.
We've gone over a little bit of that in the past as well. But no, it's like the has anyone here heard of the 1970s band, the Little River Band?
That sounds vaguely familiar.
Of course.
Okay, so they had a string of hits in the 1970s. Now, this goes into Shale's question about how many members of the band do you need in order to still call it that band. The Little River Band is a situation where there are 0 original members in the group.
They are the band of Theseus.
To me, at that point, you're nothing but a glorified cover band, except for the fact there's one member that sang on one of their hits. So the guy that sang on their song "The Night Owls" is still in the band, and no one else.
But yeah, I think that the length of time involved in replacing people comes into play.
Sure.
Because you absorb being in the band, but yeah, eventually when you get to the point where you got 0 original members, it becomes questionable.
Yeah, I think it does. That's what I would say with Grammar Club specifically. I feel like it needs a Shale Riley and a Beefy to be the Grammar Club. That's my take on it.
I do like this idea of absorbing the essence of the band to be a true member.
Right. I mean, eventually you get to the point where you forget about. Well, you don't forget about Bon Scott, but eventually you forget about the guy that Bon Scott replaced, who I forgot about. And then AC/DC is just AC/DC with their new singer. Same thing with, sometimes the band members stick and sometimes they don't. You look at like Jason Newsted was the new guy all the way up until he got replaced, and he was in the band way longer than Cliff Burton ever was.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And I think Rob Trujillo has been in the band longer than Cliff Burton was at this point, hasn't he?
That sounds about right, actually.
Yeah.
Can one of you guys tell me the deal with Flock of Seagulls?
Only thing I think of is Iran. They did run.
They ran so far away.
And they established a hell of a haircut.
Well, from what I hear, one member of Flock of Seagulls restarted Flock of Seagulls and called it Flock of Seagulls after the band broke up.
If it's the lead vocalist, I'm okay with that.
I have no idea if it is.
Because that hairstyle, that alone, that's what you would need on stage is that hairstyle. And you're good. It doesn't even have to be on the lead vocalist. It just
Did we
has
talk
to be...
about the zombies on the podcast a while back? It seems like, or was that just in chat that we were talking about the zombies?
That may have been just in chat. You're talking about the band, the Zombies.
Yeah, the band, the Zombies.
Oh, yeah.
The British band that was, they had the one hit, I'm looking it up now.
And it's Time of the Season.
Yeah, Time of the Season. So yeah, they had Time of the Season, and then the band broke up, and of course, people wanted to have a tour, so a couple of American promoters just put together bands.
Called them the Zombies.
With
zero original members.
Not even the right instrumentation.
Wow.
I think we may have talked about this on the podcast, but I still love the story.
Yeah, and one of those bands ended up becoming ZZ Top.
Yes, we totally talked about this.
Yeah, that's a thing.
ZZ Top is British in origin?
No. See,
they're not.
The British band broke up before they could ever tour on their hit. Their hit happened after the fact.
So they weren't even passing off people of the same nationality?
No.
Wow. I don't know why I felt like that mattered. I guess it's inconsequential to the fake music, but whatever.
Right. If you ask Frank Beard about it, or Billy Gibbons, if you ask Billy about it, he will tell you, look, it was the 60s. And reportedly that's all he will say about it.
There's some truth to that, though. My goodness.
I mean,
if you
there wasn't the internet. You couldn't just look up what the band looked like or anything. You could just have a fake Zombies tour the States.
Yeah. If people are hearing the hit, then they're happy. If it sounds even closely, resembles the song, then you're good. That's so ridiculous, though.
How many things are we gonna figure out are like that in the future?
What do you mean?
People are defrauding us right under our nose.
Like Gorillaz isn't even made up of cartoons at all.
Damon Albarn's not even in Gorillaz anymore.
So crazy. If you go back a decade from that, too, in the 1950s, I looked at the Billboard charts back then when I was doing research on Billboard charts and everything, and there was a phenomenon that you do not see now, which was the same song by many different artists making it into the top 40 of that year.
In different genres.
You do.
Yeah.
You just see it on YouTube.
You see it sometimes.
Yeah.
YouTube
so there's
has brought that back, yeah.
Yeah, there's the
great.
song called The Gypsy from 1950, if I'm not mistaken. It's a song called The Gypsy, which the Ink Spots had the best version of it, but there's about 5 or 6 other versions of that same song that ended up on the end of the year charts as the best-selling stuff. It's 6 different bands, same song, and people could not get enough of that song.
I feel that way. If I love a song, I want to hear it nonstop, but I want to hear it differently a lot. I want to hear it every different way. So I'll do this thing that anyone who's lived with me probably doesn't like, where I'll just spend the night listening to 24 covers of Black Hole Sun.
So what's your favorite version of Proud Mary? Is it Ike and Tina or is it CCR?
I'm CCR.
CCR. Come on. That's not even a question.
See, you can tell which one of us has played in disco bands.
I love disco. I love disco.
I can tell
it's just not. I mean, I love disco.
When you go to the club and you bust out the Ike and Tina and you get the dance off going in the middle of the Ike and Tina version,
Oh, that's seriously fun.
It's your whole third set, man.
Yeah. That makes sense because I would have people come do that at karaoke and they do the Tina dance as well.
I certainly like many versions of that song, but I don't think the original has been topped for me. It's just such a good vocal performance, and I don't know, the instrumentation is really suited.
Oh yeah, and John Fogerty's voice is phenomenal. He's coming to Spokane for some reason here.
What?
This summer. Yeah,
That's
John Fogerty's
awfully far
playing.
north.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised by it myself.
Much like he was sued by himself.
Yeah, exactly. If he's gonna run through the jungle when the old man's down the road.
Than the dude who brings the fun. They await on my arrival, now the party has begun. Got so many people laughing, got them grinning ear to ear. And even though we all be dancing, I'm not all that I appear. Oh, you see, I got a secret, and it's taking everything that is within me just to keep it. You know, I tried to play it off like maybe it's a weakness, avoiding any complicated talk about a treatment. Instead, let's have another drink or 3 or 4 or 5. Yo, I hear these kind of moments meant to make you feel alive. My agenda has been hidden since before I left my home. Even though you're all so lovely, I would rather be alone, sitting in my element, surrounded by computers, passing by the hours with some RPGs and shooters. Passion is the project and I know I could do more. I leave the house and wear a mask, I am a social luchador. And I said, let's stay home, I don't wanna go outside these walls, there's nothing for me. Let's stay home, I don't wanna go outside these walls, there's nothing for me. Man, how we doing? I wouldn't say that it's been crippling, just sometimes it feels like the pit I'm in is slowly deepening. They say I need to get a little sun and some exposure to the giant freaking star that burns my skin, and I'm like, no sir. Videos and games I play I know will never hurt me. What am I so afraid of, man? I couldn't tell you certainly. Every time I get back home I'm like, let's do this more. But yo, with every invitation have to drag me through the door. Maybe you don't get it, this is where my stuff is. You can save adventure for the ones that chase MacGuffins. I'm chasing inspiration I can turn to entertainment. Want you to want me in your city but don't really want to play it. Nothing against you, proving that you're so cool. Seems I lack the confidence to know that I could be too. Nothing I can do, I don't always feel blue. Just that beefy character is something you might see through. Let's stay home, I don't wanna go outside these walls, there's nothing for me. Let's stay home, I don't wanna go outside these walls, there's nothing for me. No, 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 there's nothing for me. No, 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 there's nothing for me. No, 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 there's nothing for me. I know there's nothing for me. For me, I don't need anything. Anything, nothing, 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 nothing. There's nothing for me.
Thank you.
But yeah, I just got home from Chicago, and like I did not I did not unpack my headphones yet. I just hopped on here. I was just gonna listen to you guys, but then you talked to me.
That's dedication. Thank you.
And then I was like, oh, I'll talk back.
Well, thank you.
You really make the show better.
He does.
I don't know if I'd go that far. I mean,
I'd say he makes the band better.
I derail the show quite frequently, I feel like.
That's fine. It's the show is a.
That's how it's supposed to go.
Yeah,
Did
it's
you
a
see the towns
sprawling
that I sent
organic
you that I
thing.
drove past?
Someone spews some non sequitur, and then we go off in some other direction.
That's right. I mean, this whole thing has been a
Non-sequitur
tangent.
is
We
sort of my
started the
thing.
show.
Isn't it time to start talking about candy bars?
No, we
No.
started the show talking about a unique song concept.
No
that I think
do-overs.
We all liked, and we're going to continue. We're going to resume talking about that. And what that concept was Sean. Before you were here, I pitched the group on this idea of doing a song with 50 rappers, each from one U.S. state, each doing 4 bars about their state.
This is his turn to say that it's a bad idea.
200 bars.
200 bars.
Yeah.
No
That's not
problem.
that long.
It's like what, 10 minutes? I don't know. Who
Well,
cares?
not, I
don't
mean,
care
not
if
at
it's 20.
200
Depends on the beats
a
per minute.
Isn't?
All right. Well, let's go. I think with that many people, we should probably use the most commonly used tempo for hip hop, which I'm going to
Like
Google.
90.
So you're
It's gonna
going to
be
go
like
with the
95
intro
or
drums
something.
from Walk This Way.
All right, let's get it. Better yet, we're going to get a BPM on Walk This Way. We're going to get a BPM on Walk This Way, and that will be the BPM of this song. I think my mouse has died.
10
That's why I
minutes of
can't
the
Google
intro of
anything.
Walk This Way, complete with record scratch to get back before Steven Tyler starts singing.
That sounds
Yes.
great.
That is
that
amazing.
sounds like
That's-
something
that's
that
the
would
only
be
way you're
great
gonna make
if we
this
owned
happen.
the rights to that song.
Oh my God. That's one of the great moments in a documentary called The History of Rock and Roll, where Run DMC's talking about how they got to doing that cover.
You know,
And
sorry, Glenn, just one thing. If you're going to get 50 rappers from 50 states to do 4 bars each, what you need to do is get 50 drummers to each do the intro to Walk This Way for 4 bars. As
Walk This
well.
Way is 109 beats per minute. Is that
There you go.
too fast?
That's pretty solid.
that's
That's
pretty
good.
Run
solid. Yeah.
DMC version is 106 BPM.
It's right there in that same range.
Yeah. So
Oh, yeah.
they slowed it down just a smidge. All right, sorry, Glenn, you were saying something.
But we don't want
No,
that. We don't want we don't want the Run DMC style, I think.
Is that a
We
problem?
want something more. Well, no, I like Run DMC. It's just I think it's a little bit technically limiting. No, you know what I
What-
mean?
No.
There's not a lot of room for complicated.
Look, if you're trying to say
rhythms.
Aerosmith's drummer isn't any good, they know.
No. I'm just saying, like,
the complexity in Run DMC comes with
Yeah.
the working off of one another and completing each other's sentences.
yeah,
And-
yeah, and like that's not the style I was imagining for this. I was imagining a more contemporary type.
Yeah,
of
well,
hip-hop
stop
sound.
what you're doing because I'm about to ruin.
Him into
style
the
that
style
you're
that you're
used to.
used to. Yes.
All right, we'll do it.
I-
We'll do it.
I-
106 beats
Okay.
per minute.
What's
once
the
did-
BPM
That's
taking
beautiful.
this down.
Warren G's Regulate.
See, there you go.
Okay, 106. It's written in this document, which is canon. All right, so here's what we have. As soon as I suggested that, how did Canada come up? How did we
Because
get
I brought up
Jesse?
Jesse
Right, you brought up
Dangerously.
Jesse, okay.
Jesse Dangerously is Canadian?
He is. He's the Halifax rap legend.
Yeah, he is.
No.
So we'll just have him at the very end, and then we'll cut the music. It'll be funny,
Okay.
or not, or you can just do. I mean, he's great. You could just do a whole. We can give him 16 bars. We can give him.
We just
32
fade out.
bars. Why don't we? You know what we'll do? We'll have a. You know what we'll do? This is it. We'll have a fake ending, just a couple seconds of silence or record static, and then Jesse will come in and he'll get 4 bars for every province.
We're going to get Puerto Rico as well, right?
Yes.
And Guam.
And Guam and
Yeah.
the U.S. Virgin Islands.
We're gonna end up with like 64 rappers, but all right, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, we don't know anyone from those places.
Not that we know of.
Like, I don't know anyone at all from Guam.
I don't think I do. Or from
Although
the
I
Virgin
think we
Islands.
may have a listenership on Radio Grammar Club from Guam.
So if you're a rapper,
If you
today's your lucky day.
if you are hearing this at 9 a.m. in Guam on Radio Grammar Club, tweet me, bro, at SHAELRILEY hashtag Guam rapper.
Hashtag Guam.
I
rap.
am looking up that hashtag to see if it already exists. Does
hope it's a
Guam
thing.
rapper? Oh God, I hope so too.
I'm supposed to be unpacking things.
No, you're
Oh,
not. You're
well, you
supposed to
are.
be doing exactly what you are, and I thank you for that.
Okay,
That's-
there
that's
is
not wrong.
one tweet from 2014 with the hashtag Guam rapper.
Well, let's find
Really?
out who that rapper is.
There you go.
I am waiting with bated breath.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna totally read this BuzzFeed article again. The true story of the fake zombies, the strangest con in rock history.
I
It's
love
one of those
revisiting
things-
stuff
Do you
like
know how
that.
there are some things that when they come up, you just have to read it?
Oh
Like-
yeah.
Like the story of the Blackbird flying over Arizona when the one cocky pilot was talking about his flight speed to make some kid in a Cessna feel bad. And so the guys flying the Blackbird called into the tower to get their speed.
I don't know that story.
I don't
Oh,
know
man.
that I know that either, but it sounds
I
fun.
do know that story.
every time I run into it, I have to read the whole thing.
Yeah,
It's
There
like
are
my
certain
Come
ones
Sail
that
Away.
are worth there are certain ones that are worth revisiting like that.
So we were trying to figure out who we know to get on this thing.
I think we know people in Albuquerque and St. Louis as well.
Yes, we do.
We know someone else in St. Louis besides me? There's no one here, man. I'm like all by myself.
Doesn't everyone know Nelly there? Isn't that how that works?
I mean, I could go fronting at the Frontenac, but I don't think he's going to be there. Buffalo?
Buffalo is not a state.
Not with that attitude.
It's a state of mind.
We were gonna approach, I think, MC Frontalot from New York.
Yeah.
Buffalo. Who do you know from Buffalo?
Why are we talking
Arm Cannon.
about Buffalo?
Oh, Arm Cannon is not a rapper, Sean.
They're not a rapper. They're not rappers, and they're not from a state.
This is completely sidetracking, as I often do, but I discovered just today Macho Man Randy Savage made a rap album. Did anyone know about this?
Yes,
No.
I heard it.
Not
when
even
I was
a little
in,
surprised.
I heard it when I was in the 8th grade. And
I'm going to forget about it again now.
He has a Hulk Hogan diss track on it. He has a
course
heartfelt
it
Hulk
does.
Hogan diss track, and it's not even kayfabe. It is a diss track about a personal feud that they had really had over a woman.
Nice.
Wow.
This is real. Where were we?
Then you think about the SR-71. That's where we are.
SR-71. Is that
Blackbird.
The band.
is that like the location of one of the Metroid games or something?
Yes. Exactly like
That's
that.
beautiful.
Man, I feel like there should be headphones in this room.
I
There
ended
just
up-
aren't.
So
I went crazy with that. I ended up buying a bunch of headphones when they were on special with Musicians Friends.
They were all in the car because the kids have like their tablets. They'll fight each other, stuff. And I had my computer and stuff. So the
Makes
headphones
sense.
are all still packed. I'm gonna post the thing in the appropriate room for posting things. Recycling center.
Okay. So we've got Jesse, the definitive author, Beefy, Frontalot. Maybe Devin? Someone from Bob Devin?
This guy?
This guy.
This guy.
Let's see.
This guy?
That's two possibilities
Him?
from New York, plus 3 if we count Arm Cannon. I'm gonna write Arm Cannon. Just 'cause you
Is Mike
suggested
Cahill
Arm
from
Cannon.
Texas? Where's he from? I think I want to say he's from Texas.
Okay.
If they don't-
I could be wrong.
I think he is. He sounds like he's from Texas. I'm gonna put him down as Texas.
Where's our friend from 2 podcasts ago? Where's he from?
Indianapolis, Nap City Cell.
That's
So
it.
I'm gonna
Nap
put
City.
I'm gonna put Nap City Cell on as Indianapolis.
Man, we had him on like a week too early, didn't we?
I know. Really, what a strange moment in time that was.
Like right between a horrible patch and
Yeah.
before the copyright.
It was just like a
Incident.
6-day window when that was possible.
Like any other time,
Yeah.
it would have been either before the horrible patch or after
Yeah.
the show stopping.
I've been making hip hop beats for any of us to use, but also I've been showing them to him if he wants to use one of those. He's probably going to record something at some point. But
Well, yeah,
Anyway.
he's going to be on this 50 rappers from 50 states thing.
yeah, probably. Should all right, who else? This is good. Who else do we know? Just
At this point, I actually know a number of people with the Fronta Little Squad. If you don't need the people to rap well,
Why
I
would we
think
need
it
people to
depends
rap
on
well?
if they're the only person from their state. We'll take what we can get.
Truth be
so
told,
are they
they-
from obscure states?
they're from all over the place because
Go on.
it was the whole thing started with Song Fight, and in 2003 where we ended up doing the Song Fight for Space Cadet, and it wasn't long after Frontalot had done Gonna Be Your Man. And my thought was to get this ragtag group of people who had never done rap before to just have some fun with doing some nerdcore style raps. And I've listened to stuff that they've done more than a decade later, and they got really good at it in comparison to what we were when we first started. But it was always meant to be more of like this fun thing where it's like people who probably had no business rapping, just rapping.
That's me.
So,
Ha-ha.
where are these fine folks?
They are
from?
all over the place. I'd actually have to look it up, but I know that I think at least one of them's from Ohio. You've got John Eric, you've got Drew Tates, you've got Soda, who went under the name MC Soda Culture.
Okay, who's from
we-
Ohio?
I think that's soda, but I'd have to actually look at that to be 100% sure. I know, but I don't know.
Sorry
So-
to cut you off. I just wanted to get that one.
By all means,
That's a valuable state.
Yeah,
And have another.
absolutely.
Big swing state for rappers.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, big state.
There you go. Yeah, MC Soda Culture, if he was into it, looks like he was Connecticut at one point.
All right.
Don't know if he's still there, but that's one of our guys, is MC Soda Culture. He did one song fight rap ever. And I'm looking up John Eric. I'm stalking them on I'm Facebook friends with these people basically. So I'm learning about them as we go here. I'm thinking, okay, John Eric is Pittsburgh.
Okay.
But he's from Louisiana originally. So you have both of those.
John Eric.
He said he said the words, I think, what the fuck, he said once, and then I made it a rule that he had to say what the fuck in every single rap that the Front Little Squad did from that point on.
Why? Harsh, man.
And he did it too. To the point where when we had Tycho from Penny Arcade on as a guest on a couple of our tracks, specifically on the one called Saving Throw. And he there's a line in one of the tracks where Tycho from Penny Arcade was on there, and he says, "What the fuck, like Baccarat?" Well, he had changed his name to MC Baccarat. John Eric had, so he stole his line, and it was pretty funny.
Anybody else from an obscure state in the Frontal Squad?
Probably a number of them. I'm looking up Drew Tates. Drew Tates started off as what Blue Lang called as mumblecore because he just didn't pronounce things very well, and he went on to be really fantastic with yo-yos. So he's one of those people that does like extreme yo-yo tricks now, and he does like these
Dr.
other
Popular?
really yeah. He's actually good friends with Doc Pop.
Small world.
Yeah, and I'm looking for his info on that. He may have been the one I was thinking that was Ohio actually, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So I'll do some research into it in the meantime.
Do we know anyone in Pennsylvania?
Joe Cam.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Yes.
All right, Joe Cam. We're calling in all the favors.
I was just checking to make sure there wasn't like somebody
Right, I know.
that you guys knew.
Yeah.
So
But I was
just
like,
confirmed
man,
that
Joe would
Random-
love to do this.
Random is
yeah.
in fact in Arizona.
Okay, cool. So, Philly or Arizona?
But in general, I could probably put a thing out to a number of song fight people, find out where they're from, and fill in the gaps on a lot of these. Because even some of our people that we would have on as a guest for one track ended up being way better than we would have imagined.
know. Sorry, go on.
Oh, no, I was going to say Frankie Bigface from Lancaster, Pennsylvania was only ever on one of them. He's never done like a rap thing, but he did like this Beastie Boys style rap on our track called Art Bomb, and he slayed it. It was a great verse.
I'm imagining what Joe Cam is going to do.
Oh, yeah, Joe Cam's our guy.
I have never heard Joe tackle a subject matter that is remotely like this. So I'll be quite interested. And
about like where he's
about
from?
his state. Yeah, about the state of
Dude,
Pennsylvania.
he's just gonna be all like, "Yo, Sheets is the best."
Yeah, you're right.
Then
He's gonna be like,
he'll drop the mic, and that's the whole thing.
Sheets is the best. Taylor Ham got a bunch of cats right where I am.
He just wrote his bars for him.
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
Yeah,
I wish,
you did.
oh man, I wish he was here for this. He would.
Good Lord, that's amazing.
Oh, it's not, but thank you.
Did I tell you he sent me a care package with a bunch of these Tasty Cakes vanilla pudding pie?
Yeah.
Because I was talking about like you know when you go to the store and you get like a Little Debbie's or Tasty Cake or whatever company, they make the pudding pies, right? Like the fruit pies. But they're always chocolate. You can't get vanilla anymore for like the last 20 years. I've been like wanting some vanilla pudding pies. And every time I talk to anybody from the East Coast, they're like, "Oh, dude, yeah, we totally have these." It's not even kind of the same thing. It is, however, like amazing. It comes in like a little tin, and the vanilla pudding is like the most rich thing you've ever had in your life. Like I gave one to Flick, and he couldn't finish it.
What?
Like it was just too much for him.
All right, that's not the thin, runny, gelatinous custard we have out in the East.
No, this is the baked pie vanilla pudding. It's more like a cream sort of thing than a pudding.
That sounds nice.
And it's just like it just hits you. It hits.
It sounds like you just go into a sugar coma.
Well, yeah, and it's you know how onion, like if you have pizza with a lot of onion cut up on top of it, it hits you in the top back of your throat.
Yes, I do.
and goes straight up to the top of your head.
It's a special kind of indigestion.
Yeah, that's later, but yeah, it's like that, except instead of savory like an onion, it's sugar.
That could be good or bad.
It's both.
Yeah,
It's good until it stops being good.
That's the feeling of your pancreas trying to tell you something.
But anyway, it was really nice of them to send these out, and they're super delicious. They're not at all what I was thinking of, but it's discovering a whole new amazing thing, so that's groovy. But anyway, if anybody ever listens to this and knows where I can get a line on some like vanilla pudding pies, like the old style Ninja Turtle things, those.
Yeah, I've not seen them in years either.
That's what I was thinking of when you brought those up. The green flaky, like these green pies with this like slightly cracked white clear glaze, and then you open it up and there's that sugary delicious pudding.
Mm-hmm.
And
those things were like 1,100 calories each.
Oh yes,
like that was half of your day's food. Period.
Oh, and if
just
you
that
were
one
like,
pie.
and if you were 7 years old,
it was the whole thing. You really didn't need to eat anything else.
Oh,
when
my
you were
parents
like
should
80
have been
pounds.
watching me. My parents should have been watching me much closer in those days. Should have locked the fridge. So I know a rapper from Iowa.
Yeah.
Schaefer the Dark
Iowa,
Lord.
cool.
Oh, there you go.
Uh-huh.
And I'm sure he would love to rap about Iowa.
I bet he would. I bet he would.
Can we get Flick to represent Minnesota and or that other state where he lives now after he moved to Minneapolis?
Flick.
Fargo, which is in North Dakota. He's in North Dakota.
Minnesota/North Dakota. States that only exist as a concept for me.
That's beautiful. How about Mr. MC Lars? Where's he from?
I actually was going to ask. I think California, but I'm not 100%.
Wait, whoa, he's from the U.S.
Where'd you
Lars
think he was from?
From the U.S.
Yeah.
I had it in my mind for some reason that he was not American.
What?
Is it because
I don't know why.
Rich?
French. I don't.
No,
okay.
What?
Moneyed.
His hometown is listed as Oakland, California.
Oakland. Okay.
Is Mustin's from Arkansas, right?
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he is.
We should get Mustin on.
We could get Mustin, but you know who we really need if we're gonna get the 1-ups involved is we should get William.
Yeah.
Because also known as William. His album, he put out an album several years ago as Chico Ray.
Yeah. Let's get Chico Ray. I don't
know if
Mustin.
Chico Ray is offensive or not.
Well,
but if it is, it's his fault.
He'll be less offensive in this song than he was on his debut.
Met him, right? He can't not be offensive.
He's a lovely man. What are you talking about?
He's wonderful. It's a wonderful kind of offensive. Like he's perhaps my favorite kind of offensive.
That's beautiful.
Well, that's why we have to have him represent Arkansas.
Right.
Maybe Mustin can do a little sax solo or something.
No, Mustin can play the Walk This Way beat.
Okay.
Bit of a sidebar here, but have any of you guys gone and seen the Mr. Rogers documentary? I'm going to see that here in a couple hours.
No, but I hear good things.
Yeah, same. Okay, as you were.
So, Sean, you want to represent Missouri?
I am not and have never been a resident of Missouri. I live in Illinois.
I know, but I bet we could find someone else from Illinois.
Almost certainly.
That's why I want you to represent Missouri.
I feel like I would be a poor representative.
Yeah.
Of any state.
You don't have a lot of points in rap.
I have more than most people would realize, but not a lot.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's not a zero amount of points, which is what most people would assume.
Who else do you know anyone from Missouri? Is there someone you might want to be your champion?
I'll bet I could come
I'm
up
still
with
pretending
somebody.
like you're from Missouri.
I'll bet I could come up with somebody from Missouri.
Right. Okay, we'll leave that a question mark.
Okay. Florida. We know like 50 people.
Yeah.
You know all the people from Florida.
I do.
You are the people from Florida.
In a sense.
Look, all I'm saying is if you like ran your car over like a bus of like fish, the headline would say Florida Man.
Okay. Sometimes I do. Oh
wonder. My God, that's the Shale Riley solo project, Florida Man.
How long will it take until I absorb that moniker?
I think you're already there, good sir. I think you're already
6
there.
months. 6 months.
You must leave this Discord. I'm just kidding.
Oh, damn! I was gonna do it too.
It'd be funny to get someone
that would have ruined Craig.
Florida Man would
really
does it?
Florida Man would be a good title for a project for you.
Oh God, yes. That's seriously at least an album. Shale Riley, Florida Man.
Just documenting your process of absorbing Florida.
You guys are mean.
A little.
That's one of the song titles.
I lived in Florida for a while. I was a Florida man once.
I know what you're going through. Kidding.
We are all Florida man on this glorious day.
It's a fine state.
No, we should get someone like really unlikely from Florida, like Doug or someone.
Oh yeah, Doug. Good call.
Doug Arley. Yeah, that would
go
be
with
great.
The personal choice. Good. MF Snakes from Florida. I'm gonna put it down as MF Snakes.
Yes. Okay.
I was just realizing.
Why stop with Doug though? Why not? Why not get the pair?
Well, the other guy is Ty.
We could ask Kabuto too, but Kabuto is California too, also, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, he is. There's a million people from California. It's like every sixth rapper is going to be from California or New York.
Just have them all talking over each other all at once on their 4 bars.
They each get a word.
Yeah, I was going to say they each get a word, or they each get 1 bar.
We just get the Texas and California people like just to trade bars about whether In-N-Out or Whataburger is better. I feel like
Neither.
they could just go back and forth over that.
You raise a good point.
The correct answer is Beck's Prime.
Who's from Texas that we know?
Tanner.
Okay, Juder Stevenson.
I thought we talked about Michael being from Texas.
Oh, he is. That's right.
But,
okay.
How about I was going to say
also
either
Juder Stevens,
New Hampshire or Rhode Island. Rhode Island, just because of the small amount of.
It's gonna be tough. Find someone from Rhode Island, I think,
don't
or
know
extremely
anybody
easy.
From Rhode Island. I do know someone from Delaware though.
See, there you go. That's the spirit.
Stephen King's from Delaware.
That's Deluxe, son.
Deluxe.
Yes,
okay,
Deluxe.
we are getting Deluxe. Delaware.
Where does Brendan Becker claim now? Get Brendan to be involved?
Is he a vocalist?
Does it matter?
Well, I mean, would he do it? I don't know if
Is
he
he-
would even.
is
I've
he
never
like-
heard him do any recordings with his voice. I
You
don't
think
he
that's
would. Oh,
maybe
we can
he
ask
doesn't?
him. I
We should
think
find
he'd be
out.
shy about it. I think he'd be. I don't know. Maybe he'd be cool. Maybe I don't. Maybe he'd be into it. Maybe not.
We should explore the possibility.
Okay. Where is he from?
though?
The DC?
Maryland?
Maryland?
Virginia?
Oh,
That's
well,
what I was.
Let's get Myth.
He's moved around a little.
Mithril Nazgul. He's not called Mithril Nazgul anymore, but just Myth, I think. He's from Maryland.
Oh.
Also a sidebar, but has your brother wrapped up his 22 hours of Snake yet?
Yes, he's probably asleep now.
I would imagine.
Did he play Slither.io at all?
He played every Snake variant
Every
he
Snake
could
thing he
for
could come up
22 hours. It was a
Solid Snake, the
it's a
twin
very-
snake, Snake Eater.
It was a pretty good stream. It was surreal. It's one of the best streams I've ever seen, to be quite honest. It was very, very strange and entertaining. He had really planned this out. He had all this production music ready to queue up at a moment's notice. He had all these sound effects going. He was using a sampling keyboard the whole time, just like sampling his voice and making little songs out of them with like sample pads. He was playing two different Snake games at once, one with each hand at times.
So, did it all go wrong at some point?
It all went just perpetually wrong and right at the same time. It was just like a
Good.
beautiful train wreck. It was great. Actually, I really don't think it went too wrong. It was just just weird, great, and funny. So I've got Brendan Becker and Myth as possibilities from Maryland. Do you know
They're all
anybody else?
people we're gonna hit up.
Yeah. Do we know anybody else from Maryland?
Probably like the entire MagFest crew, like the first 8 of them.
Okay.
I don't know if they rap or not though. So, what about Michigan? There's never been any rappers from Michigan, right?
Was it,
Pizza.
Michigan.
don't know if you guys remember Antonio Pizza. He's from Michigan.
I'm putting him down. We're gonna reach out. We're gonna do some cold calls. Let's see.
I think he might have been thinking of that guy that sounds like he's a candy bar, but he's not. It's Eminem.
The Michelin Man.
Yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
Eminem.
Eminem.
We'll approach Eminem for Michigan.
That's a non-Perel. That's not a bar. I'm in a saucy mood apparently.
Yep.
Man, we drove past this place today called M&M Concrete.
Did you?
Yeah.
And I was like, man, that's wrong. Like, the concrete shouldn't melt in your mouth or your hands. Like, why would you even name your concrete company that? I don't care what your initials are.
M&M Concrete.
That whole slogan is a lie. They totally melt in your hands.
They
That
do
reminds
melt in
me
your hand.
of
Over
the
time.
delicious concrete that I had coming back from St. Louis.
Did you go to Ted Drew's?
There is a Ted Drew's vending machine at the airport. Believe it or
Because
not.
of course we have that.
And it was really good. It's a really good frozen custard.
Yeah, it really is good, guys. That's literally
It
his
is.
slogan.
It really is good. It's just like, it made me a little bit wistful for leaving. I was like, oh, I'm eating this delicious, unique food from this area, and then I have to go. I just kind
But
of.
then you get to
got a
go
little bit
to have
sad.
Carvel, because we don't get that.
That's true. It's true, actually, and I did. Actually, that whole summer, I ate a lot of carbs. It's as and I had this is just shortly before we started the Patreon. It is as if I paid it forward to some kind of a Carvel supernatural entity who just favored me for eating so much of that Nutella soft serve that was the flavor
Some
of the month in
celestial
August.
person.
Yeah, guys, I have not had more than 5 hours sleep in the last 2 days, so I'm a disaster.
Well, I got the ending song
I'm
ready. If
I'm
you're calling
forgetting things or being mean, I'm sorry. I'm just really.
we're just
kinda
learning who you
frazzled.
really are.
Who's really?
We see now the mask
anyone?
is
The filters are
Ah.
down. So
I couldn't keep up the charade for too long. I knew it. No, we don't have to end yet. How long have we been going for? Is it? It's only been like
But,
30.
I mean,
55
I think
minutes.
Glenn has to go do some Mr. Rogers.
I'm doing that in a couple of hours, but I think I may
okay.
actually join you for some Friday now that that's an option.
Yeah, he's actually got the game and a computer now.
let's try to wrap it up. Let's give it another 15 minutes of picking rappers, and then we'll.
Okay.
Then we'll end. How about that? I'm serious because I can't do this without your help. I don't know these people, so let's do this. Let's keep brainstorming. I think we're about a third of the way through.
Seriously, if I put it out to Song Fight, then that covers most of the other states.
He'll get most of.
I guess we
Them.
could do open auditions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember
That
that
seems like a good thing to do. Open auditions.
I remember all of a sudden that there was something that they did back in the early days of Song Fight where they did something along these lines. But again, it wasn't for state for state. But this guy, Phil Redmond, put together a thing where I think he ended up getting something like 40 different people doing like 4-bar raps. And it was like 10 minutes long. So now that I remember that, it was just something where he put it out there to Song Fight and people delivered.
That's awesome. All right.
So, yeah.
So this is what I want.
People have been willing in the past.
We can stop brainstorming. We can still think of people to ask. If they come to us, we can ask people. But do you guys want to even ask the people that we have on this list before holding an open audition?
I think that would be smart.
Yes.
Okay.
We should ask them first.
But then what if, someone from their state really wants to do it and they're good and we say, we're
Heck 'em.
sorry.
Exactly. Sorry.
Beckham Pupperino.
Sorry. Have you ever lived
we
any
put
other states? Or are you willing to rap about that state? Do you have to have lived there? Is that a rule? Or could it be where just people rap about a place that they've been to that they like?
You have to. I want you to have lived there, or
Even if it's not currently.
to pretend you did. Look, I guess it would be fine if we couldn't find someone who lived in a particular state to have someone just rap about it.
Yeah.
But I think it would be preferable
Yes,
to have the genuine article.
by all means.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Any last minute suggestions you guys want to fire off before we wrap this thing up?
Go see that Mr. Rogers documentary because I imagine it's great. I haven't seen
Won't
it
You
yet.
Be My Neighbor? Is
Yep.
the title. I think.
That is what it's called.
It looks good. I saw a preview for it when I saw Ocean's 8 the other day.
Nice. Did you like that?
Ocean's 8 is good. I did like it. I had no idea it existed. I went to see Jurassic World. It was sold out. I saw Ocean's 8.
Oh, well, there you go.
And it was good. I may have enjoyed it more than I will enjoy the new Jurassic Park. I don't know. But it was good. All right.
Okay.
All right. I think that might be my cue to end this after Shale says thank you to our Patreons.
Patrons, thank you so much for supporting us. This has been a wonderful experience for us. I hope you've been enjoying the music. We could not keep doing it without you. We love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Glenn, take it away.
Thanks for listening to this stream. We might have said fucking shit, and that's obscene. This was Camp Handsome, and you've been keen. Look for Florida Man by Shale Riley in 2019.
Thank you.
A Camp Handsome, which I love to rhyme with grandson.
You do.
Camp Handsome, bop like Hanson. It's Camp Handsome. Thank you.